I am Dyana Rozay, and I bring a unique commentary to your favorite reality TV shows and whatever is popping on social media. If you are not a subscriber, please become one. Hit that notification bell too, that way you don't miss any of my videos. I go by Dyana Rozay on all platforms, and I appreciate every single one of y'all for rocking with me. What's up, Supreme Team? Welcome to the channel. It's your girl, Dyana Rozay, and I'm here to bring y'all the latest review for Real Housewives of Atlanta, Season 16, Episode 8, okay? Y'all see the artwork? Those faces are serious, okay? And it was serious, especially at the end of the episode. There was almost a massacre. I have never seen Porsha run so fast out of a room in all of my days. She was scared, and I'm gonna tell y'all all about it. I'm gonna tell y'all all about it, okay? I rated an 8 out of 10 though. Last night's episode was an 8 out of 10 to me. If you guys had an opportunity to see it, let me know what y'all think in the comments. Put the rating in the comments. And without further ado, let's get to it, okay? So it is the day after the birthday dinner where all kinds of accusations, allegations, insults, name calling were thrown at Drew Sidora, and she wasn't even there. But baby girl took all kinds of stray bullets, okay? And then Bravo had Shamia sing a country western ditty about it, okay? And that's where Shamia had mentioned at least 4 or 5 times in the song that Drew Sidora was lifting up Dennis's belly, allegedly, okay, to go to town on some things. Now, this isn't the real Dennis. Y'all should know this. This is what Dennis should aspire to so that those ladies, you know, don't have so much weight on their head. This man has lost several inches, so much so that he has stretch marks, child. And it is what it is. But look, I'm going to give y'all some more tea. Last night on Real Housewives, not Real Housewives. Yeah, is it Watch What Happens Live? Last night on Watch What Happens Live, Porsha said nobody cares about the size of Dennis's belly. They don't care that Dennis looks like a toad because, I'm paraphrasing, she said something similar, but I'm paraphrasing. She said Dennis is cool as hell. She said she's still friends with him. She said she is good friends with Dennis. That's her boy, okay? You could tell that Porsha still loves Dennis, like she's still in love with him. But Andy said, I want you to tell me point blank. Don't give me some cute answer. Do you believe Drew Sidora slept with Dennis? And she said, if she did, she did. She said, as long as she's able to do Pilar's hair, she doesn't care. I want y'all to know that Porsha does believe that Drew slept with Dennis, for sure. And even though we have all been taking up for Drew, I'm not so sure that something didn't happen. Drew is vulnerable. And according to Porsha, if Dennis looks you in the eye the right way, you done for. You gonna give it to him. You know what I'm saying? I'm just saying, y'all. I'm sorry. If y'all see Dennis in these streets, put on some shades, put on them blinders that horses wear, because Porsha said Dennis is not suffering nothing. Okay, there's no droughts for that man. And Drew was spending a lot of long hours with him doing this music. Okay, so let's get to it. It's the morning after, right? Everybody is getting ready. They're talking to their respective others or whatever. Everybody except for Porsha, who, despite what happened the night before, she is in her room getting her Z's, getting her beauty rest, okay? She is enjoying herself, but everybody else is out getting ready and talking to their beaux, including Britt Edie, who is on the phone with Mike, and she is letting him know, I can't stand Angela Oakley. I don't like nothing about the heifer. She gets on my nerves. She can't read a room. She had so much to say about Angela. And it all goes back to the peace brunch, where she basically is mad at Angela for holding her accountable and making her say that she did not lose her insurance license because she was willing to lie so that she could look like even a bigger victim. And this is important because she's about to say some rotten shit toward the middle of this review, okay? So stick around. But she says, I don't like Angela. I can't stand her. This is also the reason why Britt and Porsha are good friends, because they have become alliances against Angela Oakley. Okay. Just so y'all know. Then we have Shamia. She is on the phone with her husband, Gerald. They're on FaceTime, and Gerald is holding little baby Shiloh. He's letting her know that Shiloh has an ear infection, I think. And Shamia has a whole lot of mommy guilt. She is fighting back tears. Gerald is trying to make her feel okay. He's like, it's all good. We got it. You have a good time. You don't have to worry, right? But Shamia can't take it. And when she hangs up the phone with Gerald, she says, listen, Gerald is the best father ever. Then she says, he wants a son, and I got to do everything I can to give him that, because he is so deserving. Child, she has a lot of weight on her shoulders. We'll hear more about it as these episodes go, but wow, that's a lot. Okay. Next up, we have Angela Oakley, who is outside, child, drinking in the sun's rays, despite the fact that that wig is still lifting up, even in this scene. But she needed to go outside and recharge. And I understand, okay, because she got her ass handed to her the night before. Now, Cynthia, the OG, comes out and gives her a hug. Cynthia's there to make everybody better. She gives her a hug and she said, are you okay? And Angela says, no, I'm not. That was hard last night. Those girls really gave it to me. And she's basically saying they were attacking her for inviting Drew to Porsha's birthday party when Porsha didn't invite her. So Cynthia tries to give Angela some sound advice. She says, listen, maybe you should stay out of it. Okay, maybe you should stay out of it. Back up, because at the end of the day, Drew brought this shit on herself. Baby daddies hit different. And she was doing some things behind Porsha's back. Let her and Porsha work it out. But Angela's like, I understand. I still don't like for people to get talked about when they're not around. That's just how I am with my friends. And she said, it's not just Drew. I'm that way with all of my friends. And she feels misunderstood. Okay. But after they, go back and forth a little bit, Angela said, we need to go in the house and get some food. Plus my wig is lifting up. And Cynthia said, girl, you in that damn wig, child. But they end up going in the house. Cynthia also asked Angela, where is Drew? Okay, with all the Drew talk, where is she? She was supposed to be here 2 days ago. Why isn't she here yet? And Angela lets her know, I just talked to Drew a little bit ago. She was on her way to the airport. She's definitely on her way. That's when we see Drew Sidora pull up in a big black Cadillac SUV, child, jumps out of it. And when she walks into the house, she seems to be in good spirits. She screams out, howdy, bitches. And you see Cynthia gives her a very warm, genuine hug, child, like you're about to get your ass handed to you on this trip, child. So if you need a shoulder to cry on, I'm here. But just know, ooh, you about to get it, okay? But Cynthia's letting her know everything's good. The girls are getting dressed. People are getting ready. There's some breakfast in there. She tells her she already ate. She was like, well, your room is upstairs, child. We about to do whiskey tasting. And some of the girls are going to a bar. And Drew heads her upstairs with her luggage. In confessional, though, this is important. Listen up. In confessional, Drew says the reason she is there is to resolve things, to mend fences. She's tired of this whole thing between her and Porsha going on so long. So she is there to extend an olive branch. And this is important because Drew is about to switch up in 1.1 seconds, okay? So once she gets upstairs, she sees Angela. Angela is getting her hair and makeup professionally done, okay? Which is a good thing because she wants to make sure that wig lays down for good. This isn't something that she is about to install. And when Drew sees her, she's real happy. They're, exchanging greetings. And Drew lets her know, girl, the view. She is so excited to see the room. She said, girl, your view, where's my shit? Because if this is what you got, I gotta have a better room. You know what I'm saying? I gotta have a good room. And Angela was like, yeah, your room is over there. You should go see it. So Drew goes walking over to that bunk bedroom, child, with the kid's desk. And I don't even think it had artwork on the wall. She looks up and she goes, oh my God, it's like I'm in an orphanage, right? She comes out, she laughs it off. Um, Angela tells her, listen, we're not going to be in these rooms. No way. Just go in there, sleep. We outside. You know what I'm saying? And then Angela asked her a serious question. She said, have you talked to Porsha? Now, remember, just a few seconds ago in confessional, she said she wanted to make things right. But when she's talking to Angela, she makes this face right here. And she says, no, like with an attitude. No. Angela says, Drew, I think you should. And Drew says, why? That's what Angela said, girl, I went to war for you last night. You got to say something. Get this heat up off me. And Drew says, yeah, if you had a war last night, you brought it on yourself. And Drew is literally acting like she doesn't owe Porsha anything, which is the complete opposite of what she just said in confessional. Now, I know a lot of y'all are riding for Drew because y'all want her to be Porsha's karma, but you're about to get Drew knocked in the head with the same brick Porsha's about to get knocked in the head with. Child, Drew isn't Porsha's karma. Drew is making all the wrong decisions. Oh my gosh, she is giving me Gabby. Shannon Sharp's Gabby, okay? You listen to some of the tapes and you're like, damn, Shannon. But then Gabby says something, or, you looking at something she done, and you are like, girl, is there some truth to what's going on here? Because that's what it feels like. It feels like there's some truth to it because you're not acting the way a person would do when they've done nothing wrong, child. Anyway, Drew says something off color, like, she needs to get over it. And I'm just sitting there like, girl, this is amazing. And then they cut to a scene where Porsha is getting ready. Shamia's in the room with her, and she's asking her, are you going to be cool with Drew when you see her? Porsha says, yes, I'm fine. I'm not going to be the mean girl. I don't do that. And in her confessional, she says, listen, once I get it off my chest, I'm not the person who keeps throwing daggers at you. I'm done with it, okay? She said, I want everybody to have a good time, and I'm not going to ruin the trip like some people do by keeping shit going. And at this point, I think she's insinuating that Angela is keeping things going because she said, listen, if it wasn't for that thing over there, and she's referring to Angela, okay? Child. She also said that Angela was gaslighting her. So she was like, listen, I'm telling her what's going on. The girl keeps trying to make me think that a thing ain't a thing. She doesn't like Angela either. So again, Britt Edie and Porsha are friends because they are teaming up against Angela Oakley. Anyway, when Porsha finishes getting ready, they head downstairs. And when Porsha sees Drew, she hugs Drew. She lets her know we cool, okay? She asks her how things are going. She hugs everybody else that's in the room, greets them. So Porsha's trying to make good on what she said in confessional. Unlike Drew, she tells the girls, we're going to a whiskey bar. We're also going to Coyote Ugly. Everybody climbs into the Mercedes Sprinter, and they are on their way. Now, they are all on their way with different outfits on. In particular, Britt Edie, who had all of her ass showing. She was wearing some sort of thong with like a mesh number, like the same thing almost that Phaedra had when they were at the beach that one time. Yeah, like that. Now, y'all, while they are in the Sprinter, all the ladies are in the Sprinter, they're talking to each other and having a good time. Shamia actually gets a text from someone who is apologizing to her for discounting the abuse that she experienced with her first husband. And this makes Shamia tear up. Porsha recognizes it and she walks to the back of the Sprinter because Porsha and Cynthia are in the front. She walks to the back of the Sprinter and she's holding Shamia's hand. And Shamia is telling everybody that when she was married, and she was only married for a year, to this very popular, wealthy man, she said that he would lay hands on her publicly She said that he knocked her out of her shoes. Her first pair of red bottoms knocked her out of her shoes. So she said he would do it in private, and I guess she was willing to go with it when it was in private, but when it happened in public, that's when she said I had to get out of it. She said it embarrassed the hell out of her. But anyway, it just goes to show you that a lot of people think that boogie monsters are ugly, like people you can easily point out in the room, and they're not. Typically, boogie monsters are charismatic, they are educated, they are wealthy, and they have a lot of people around them that are willing to protect them, child. Mamas, daddies, cousins, sisters, brothers, friends, family, the whole nine, who will literally lie on babies, grandparents, dogs to protect their horrible asses. So when I hear people say that they are abused, I trust the people first. I don't care. People don't just come with that out of nowhere. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, let's move on. So now the ladies split up and they go to whatever event they're going to. Shamia, Porsha, and Kelly, they go to Coyote Ugly. Cynthia, Angela, Britt, and Drew, they all go to the whiskey tasting. Now the girls at Coyote Ugly, child, they are really letting everything fly. They freak flags fly over there, okay? It's just the three of them. It looks like they closed the bar down like it could have been private. But the girls are on top of the bar on their knees, on their hands and knees, and they're doing something called, and I quote, sucky sucky, where they take their mouth and then bend down, pick up a shot glass, toss it back, and put it back to the bar, child. So they were getting real loose over there. They all did it, every single one of them. And then they have a one-on-one conversation or a three-on-one conversation. They all talk to each other in a group about Drew. This is when Porsha tells the group that her core group of friends that had come to help her celebrate the night before didn't know anything about her and Drew getting into it. And Angela was the one who put all of that information out there and started all the insults and talking about Drew Sidora. She said, I don't think that Angela likes Drew very much. I think she's a rattlesnake, okay? So they were all listening and nodding their heads to that child. And then in the other group where the girls are drinking whiskey, okay, they are drinking whiskey flights. And the first drink that Britt Edie had, you could tell that she had already warmed up and probably shouldn't have had anything else. While Cynthia was on her fourth and fifth, like, baby, this is good to me. She was drinking off her tail. But anyway, while they're there, Angela is telling Drew Sidora how they all missed her last night. They wish she would have came earlier. And then she also says, listen, a whole lot of shit popped off because she did not get Porsha's permission to bring her first. And that's where Britt, who plays the victim, says to Angela, well, girl, that's not why shit popped off. Things popped off because you were playing the victim. Oh my God. I'm going to need Kettle to meet this big black ass pot called Britt Edie. What is going on? Now everybody freezes. Everybody's like, oh no, girl, what are you talking about? In particular, Drew, who's making all kinds of faces that Britt seems to ignore. Britt seems to ignore. But she's like, Angela says, I beg your pardon. All of this heat that I've been catching. And Britt's like, yeah, that's exactly what I'm talking about. You're sitting here talking about the heat you're catching when in reality, you're pretending to be oblivious to what's going on. You started this. I can't make it up. I swear. Angela, you are a soldier for letting that girl slide on this one, because the way it was edited, she was just like, okay, well, I'm sorry. I apologize. I apologize. I would have never apologized, child. You wouldn't have heard an apology out of me. But yeah, Drew is also like, yeah, I'm sorry too. They're trying to get this girl to just can this damn story because it's too much. It's too much for us at home too. I'm sorry. But anyway, next we have the ladies pile back into the van and head back to their house. Okay. Everybody is good and tipsy. Britt looks like she is actually sick. She doesn't look well. So heat and drinking, that's too much. Okay. You're going to have a heat stroke. Anyway, once they get back to the house, some of the ladies go take naps and sleep it off. Others are just, doing their own thing, taking some time alone. And then there are some that are meeting up. Like I think Cynthia and Britt Edie had sat and talked a little bit, but they're, doing their thing. We see Porsha in her room, though, talking to Dennis and PJ. She's on the phone with the two of them. And this is important because some stuff is about to pop off. All right. Now, while everybody's doing their thing, there's also a bunch of men in the house. Porsha has hired a group of Nashville's finest, allegedly, to come in with their cowboy hats, make dinner, fix drinks, make the ladies feel a little something, something before they leave. You know what I'm saying? And there is this young kitten that starts licking his lips, child, actually licking his lips and setting his sights on Cynthia. Cynthia, in confessional, Cynthia said that someone needs to fold her ass back up because she is over there wide open. That was funny. Cynthia said that she was wide open, child. Anyway, all of the ladies start coming downstairs. They've all gotten dressed. They're dressed to the nines, actually, for this birthday dinner. I think it might be the last dinner they have for that night, okay? Or the last dinner that they're going to have on the trip. But they're all still dressed in their cowboy themes. And then the birthday girl comes down and she's not dressed at all. Now, don't get me wrong, her hair and makeup was laid to hell, okay? She looked cute, but she is wearing this black bodycon dress and she is out of it. You can tell she is in a mood. She does not, you listen, when you see somebody with that kind of energy, you don't even feel comfortable talking to them. You like walk over to them and whisper, "Girl, you okay?" You know what I'm saying? Just in case, like, please don't scream on me. You're whispering to them. You're whispering, "Girl, you okay?" Okay, just to make sure. So everybody notices it as soon as she comes in. Everybody notices it. It changes everything. People were laughing and joking right until Porsha walked into the room. And some people are asking, "What's wrong, Porsha? Are you okay?" But every time they ask, she answers with some sort of directive like, "Let's go eat." "Oh, how did y'all get drinks?" She's not responding to how she feels. Shamia finally sidebars her and she's like, "Girl, what happened?" And then we see in confessional, Porsha tells us, she's like, "Listen, after I finished talking to Dennis, I got another call from someone else. And they told me that Dennis and Drew have been filming together." So the fourth wall has been broken again. We already knew from the first episode, but she said they have been filming together. And if y'all remember when her and Shamia were at Dave and Buster's playing games and eating and stuff, Porsha thought she put the kibosh on Dennis and Drew filming together. She was like, "I got them together. I got it." You know what I'm saying? Like she was not expecting that. So she is in a foul mood. In confessional, Porsha also says, "Listen, I really thought that we had worked it out, but Dennis has chosen opportunity over family." And that was a big moment. Now, I know a lot of y'all are like, who gives a shit? Porsha gets what she gets. But that is her baby daddy child. And she probably does want to make things smooth. Because if y'all remember, if y'all watch Porsha Family Matters, Porsha and Dennis had gotten into a fight that was so awful. Porsha had called the federales over there in Mexico to take Dennis to jail. She tried to clobber Dennis' mama with a lamp, okay? And when she had gotten back to Atlanta, Dennis said, "Me and my mama both will sue your ass." Dennis's mama said, "I am that child's grandmother. You will never keep me from her. Okay, I will take you to court for grandma visitation." And that's a thing. Dennis said the same thing, said the same thing. "That's my baby. I don't know what you think is about to happen, but I'll have your ass in court faster than you can say, you better call Porsha." Okay. I know that's right, Dennis. But even though there's a lot of people laughing and, dancing on Porsha's top because they think she's getting what she gets, this is a family, child. There's a family involved, and you got to know your limitations. Porsha knows her limitations. She does not want this show to affect her relationship with her baby daddy. And I don't blame a child. Moving on. Now the ladies are line dancing and, doing some of the other fun activities that were planned for the evening before they sit down for dinner. And that line dancing didn't cheer Porsha up at all. Okay. Her mood is funky. You hear me? Funky. And everybody knows it. Everybody knows it. So Kelly is trying to break the ice, and she's like, well, what did you guys do when you were at the whiskey tasting? Because she's just trying to have conversation going, okay? Angela's like, well, and Britt gets so excited, like, oh my God, tell everybody how you were wrong and I was right. You could just see her face like that. Go ahead, tell them what you learned, Angela. And Angela said, well, Britt said that I am, what did you guys call me? Victimina, because and then Angela said, you know what? I'm going to be honest. I have no idea why you guys think I'm playing the victim. Please tell me, okay? And Britt said, so you didn't take anything from the conversation we had today? And Angela said, well, I heard that you said you and Porsha agree that y'all on the same page about it, but I have no idea what you're talking about. That's when Shamia chimes in and says, well, were you gaslighting? Shamia? Just so y'all know, Shamia likes to get shit started just like everybody else, child. Don't be putting too much on Shamia. Shamia likes to get shit started. Okay? So Angela goes, well, what does that mean, Porsha? Give me an example. How did I gaslight you? Now, Porsha is sitting there eating her salad, like, if y'all don't leave me the fuck alone. And she says, I don't remember. And that makes everybody uncomfortable. Like, everybody's sitting there with their eyes bucking out like, damn, girl, this is your party. We are filming. Please get your shit together. Get your mood right. But Porsha's like, I'm not, okay? And I'm not going to lie. I do this. I am very much a person when I am mad. I just don't want to talk, and you got to let me just come down. So I understood what was going on with Porsha. At the end of the day, just talk around her, child. Don't involve her. She'll get involved when she's ready. But they don't know what to do. So Angela said, F it. I'm going to poke the fucking bear. Clearly, that's what Angela said. I'm going to poke the bear. If she's not going to talk, I'm going to make her talk. So Angela said, why am I the only one who's being held accountable? Why am I the only one that needs to be accountable for things? Did Porsha ever answer that question about why she took that woman's husband? Why haven't Porsha answered? Can we get Porsha to be accountable? Now, when she says this, I swear to y'all, it felt like the sky went black. The birds, I don't know where they are, Nashville. The birds definitely flew to California. They was like, bitch, we up out of here. Cynthia says, I think that we should all just leave Porsha alone. I think we should just all leave Porsha alone unless Porsha wants to answer the question about. I'm sorry. Listen, Cynthia's definitely an OG, but she really wanted everybody to come off of Porsha. But then she realized, child, I'm trying to come back for next season. So she said, listen, we should all leave Porsha alone. Unless, Porsha, you want to answer the question about why you took that woman's husband. Porsha looks at Cynthia like, bitch. She stares dead in Angela's eyes. And she said, you can kiss all of my ass, bitch. Now, in confessional, Angela said, why would I be kissing Porsha's fix-a-flat? It ain't flat no more, Angela, okay? She said, why would I be fixing? Now, that's why, if y'all watch my last episode, I told y'all, why did they have Porsha going up the steps like that? Because they wanted to show you her ass, and then there was that bar that went over the screen. It was because of this scene right here. Bravo, editing. Bravo. So she said, why would I kiss Porsha's Fix-A-Flat, right? And that's when you hear Kelly say, I'm going to the bathroom. Kelly was out of there. She said, baby, ain't nobody throwing shit down here toward me. I don't know what this is about, but y'all need to calm it down. Now, everybody at this table has caught a clue. Angela caught it. She didn't press Porsha anymore. She just said, are you asking the world to kiss your ass? She said, no, I'm asking you to kiss my ass, okay? Angela drank her drink and said, you know what? The girl's pissed. I ain't going to give her any more. Okay. Shamia sat there, didn't say a word. And Shamia is Porsha's best friend during this time. Cynthia knew to put a cork in it. She ain't saying shit else. And even Britt Edie, who needs to make every moment about her, she stayed out of it. This is when Drew Sidora, and I have to say, I'm confused by this, Drew. Drew ends up confronting Porsha and said, well, Porsha, are you good with me being here? Because I know I wasn't invited. I did bring you whiskey as a birthday gift and and I'm just sitting there when I'm watching it. I'm like, well, Drew, this is probably the worst time to bring it up. Like when you guys hugged, you could have pulled her aside. You could have asked Cynthia if you could have sat beside her on the Sprinter. You could have sat beside her on the Sprinter on the way back when everybody was laughing and drunk. Why choose now when you could tell that not only is she mad, she's mad, but she's mad at everything. So why insert yourself into that situation to take a bullet? Porsha looks at her and says, you straight, and she is looking around for the food. She knows that Drew isn't her problem, that her baby daddy is her problem. She knows that, but she got to work this shit out in her head, okay? Drew just takes it there and she goes, I don't have to take this. I'm gone. Now everybody at the table is like, girl, even Angela, like, child, sit there and eat your food. If I took the hit yesterday for you and just had this lady tell me to kiss her ass, surely you can continue sitting here right now. But Drew made this dramatic exit, child. I'm out. I'm not doing this with you. I tried. Y'all heard me try. And Porsha is giggling. She has a smile on her face like, this bitch is a drama queen and you are doing exactly what I thought you were doing. You are making this a big moment for promotion of your album. And I agree with that. Now, do I think that she might have, given Dennis a little ones and twos, okay? Sang on the mic a little bit? For sure. For sure. But if Drew isn't playing games right now, she is acting like a woman who is allowing her guilt to alter her perception because she's a mess. Do you hear me? It is a mess. Anyway, Drew storms off and Porsha takes that moment to go on up them stairs. Like, I don't give a damn about y'all at this moment. She goes and she lays down in her room. And Cynthia goes up behind her because she got to have a one-on-one with her just to talk it out. And when she goes up there with her, Porsha tells her what's going on. She said, listen, both of the men in my life are on my ass heavy. And I had just had a conversation with Dennis about not filming with Drew. I don't want us to have problems. I want us to be good. I need us to be good in this situation. And then you hear Cynthia say, I know exactly what you're talking about. Really, I empathize with you. But she said, Porsha, you're going to land on your feet. You always do. You don't lay down for long. Out of all of the girls on all of these shows, you are the one that I know will always land on your feet. And that helps Porsha lighten up a little bit because she was feeling down. Like, how am I going to work things out? Right. And now she feels a little encouraged, okay? In the meantime, Drew is packing her shit so she can get the hell out of there. And I don't blame her, child. Go on ahead and get out, child. But Porsha ends up rejoining the group, okay? She rejoins the group. And Britt Edie got on her bathing suit and she's like, child, we about to get in the pool. Let's go. And that's when Porsha gets her bathing suit on. Shamia's in the pool. Kelly's in the pool. Britt's in the pool. They're down there drinking. They are loud talking. They are talking about everything that happened that day, in particular with Angela. And Porsha's letting it be known, I am tired of people asking me about taking that girl's husband, okay? People better stop fucking with me. And she basically said if Angela says some other shit, she might sleep with Charles Oakley. Now, what she didn't know is Angela was upstairs. Her bedroom is overlooking the pool, and she's hearing everything. Okay. Angela said, I heard them saying my name a few times. So I looked out the window and I even recorded the conversation. And when she heard that stuff about Charles, Porsha saying she might lay down with Charles, Angela put on her damn flip-flops, child, and popped on down them steps the way you saw that black lady on Tom and Jerry. Tom and Jerry, pop, 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 on down to the pool. And she point blank confronted Porsha and said, girl, what did you say about my husband? Porsha took that damn beach towel, wrapped her ass up, and she started walking just as fast as Angela did coming down, right on up and out. She left. I didn't say nothing. And Porsha went to her room, and that was the end of her night at the pool, child. In confessional, producer said, did you say that you would sleep with Angela's husband? And Porsha lied and said, no, I did not say that. Okay. Porsha knew better. You know they caught that shit on camera. Now, last night on Watch What Happens Live, Porsha did come clean and said, I did say it. I said it. I was high off the Henny. She wasn't supposed to hear that. But at the end of the day, no. It was just something that I was saying, trying to be flip, okay? But yeah, the next morning, Angela has decided she's had her fill of the girls, and she has called herself a Uber, and she has all of her bags packed and at the door, okay? Kelly comes downstairs with her happy ass, and she's like, good morning, what's going on? Where are you going? And Angela said, hey, Kelly, look, I'm not in for the fake shit, okay? Because you was down there just like Shamia, just like Britt, and she called them all Porsha's puppets. She said, y'all was down there laughing, joking, thinking that shit was funny, okay? So I don't think it's funny, and I'm not in the mood to humor you. And that's how it ends, child. Porsha almost had a different kind of birthday. A different kind of birthday, okay? You don't want to be near a pool when you fighting, okay? Pool, electrical wire, glass ashtrays, none of that. So Porsha got herself up out of there, and I don't blame her. But y'all talk to me. Let me know what y'all think about all of this in the comments. Make sure y'all hit the like button, share the video. Follow me on all my platforms at DYANAROZAY. Make sure your notification bells are on too. I appreciate every single one of y'all for rocking with me. And I'll see you on the next one.